Do you think the money we use today was created overnight? Need of something which someone don't have had created the arrays of barter system. The barter system is an excellent method of payment, but it only works if the things being swapped were equal worth. Cows were utilized as a means of exchange in pastoral communities during the Vedic period. Would you accept a pound of sugar or rice in exchange of a cow? The cows could also not be used for the modest purchases, nor could they be divided to pay for it. Because they were insufficient for all these transactions, a more stable, divisible, and easy medium of exchange was required. At one point in the history, shells and beads were also used as a medium of exchange. The problem with the beads and shells was that they were plentiful and beads can be made by anyone with necessary equipment. People then came up with a solution: metal. Metal is both durable and handy. However, simply discovering metal is not enough. Metal would have to be split into pieces of consistent weights and size in order to function as a perfect medium of trade. This practice gave the rise to the coin. The concept was highly accepted. People found it simpler to accept metal pieces having private marks, and coins with punches and symbols were gradually introduced. The first Indian coins were minted by Mahajanapadas, the republic kingdoms of ancient India, known as Puranas, Karshapanas, and Panas. The first Maurya emperor, Chandragupta Maurya, came up with the punch-marked coins, minting of silver, gold, copper, or lead as Rupya Rupa, silver, Suvarna Rupa, gold, Tamar Rupa, copper, and Sisira Rupa as lead. Later, the word rupee has been derived from the Sanskrit word rupyakam, meaning a silver coin. It owes its origin to rupya issued by Sher Shah Suri in 1540 to 1545. Coinage is more expensive than many other traditional techniques, but imagine carrying 1 lakh rupee worth of coins in your pocket. Isn't that too much? The solution: paper money. Comparatively, paper currency is easier to store than coins as it requires less space, and they come up with a greater variation of designs, colors, and flaws which are attributed to the rarity. In 18th century, the Bank of Hindustan General in Bengal and the Bengal Bank became the first banks in India to issue paper currency. After 1857 revolt, the British made the rupee as the official currency of colonial India. A series carrying the portrait of George V was introduced in 1923 and was continued as an integral feature of all paper money issued of British India. These notes were issued in denomination of rupees 1, 2.5, so on until 10,000. This series went a long way, and on April 1st, 1935, the Reserve Bank of India was formally inaugurated in its central office in Calcutta. But why do we need a Reserve Bank? The RBI acts as a regulator and supervisor of overall financial system. This injects public confidence into the national financial system and protects interest rates and provides positive thinking alternatives to the bank to the public. Finally, the RBI acts as the issuer of national currency. The first paper currency issued by Reserve Bank of India was a 5 rupee note bearing King George VI's portrait in January 1938. India's modern rupee reverted back to the design of signature rupee coin. The symbol chosen for the paper currency was a lion capital at Sarnath, which replaced the George VI series of banknotes. So the first banknote printed by independent India was 1 rupee note. The 1955 Indian Coinage Amendment Act, which came into force with effect from April 1st, 1957, introduced a decimal series, had distinctly different shapes of round 1 naya paisa, scallop 2 naya paisa, and so on. Let's welcome the father of our nation, Gandhiji, into our currency. In 1967, Reserve Bank of India issued the Mahatma Gandhi Birth Centenary Commemorative Design Series on rupees, 5 rupees and 10 rupees notes. In 1980, New notes were issued with symbols of science and technology as Aryabhatta on 2 rupees notes and farm mechanisms on 5 rupee and Indian art, Konark wheel and peacock on 20 rupee and 10 rupees notes. In 1987, Rupees 500 note was introduced. In 1996, the Mahatma Gandhi series of notes were issued, starting with 10 rupees to 500 rupees notes. These were replaced all the notes of line capital of Sarnath. A changed watermark, windowed security thread, latent image, and intaglia features for the visually handicapped were the new features. On July 15, 2010, India introduced a new currency symbol, the Indian rupee. Time has come to say goodbye to paisa. In 2011, 25 paisa coins and all the paisa coins below it were demonetized. New series of 50 paisa coins and rupees 1 to rupees 10 notes were introduced with the new rupee symbol. The Republic India witnessed the second major monetary reform in November 2016 when it withdrew the legal tender status of rupees 500 and rupees 1000. Demonetization of banknotes of Mahatma Gandhi series issued by Reserve Bank of India and the new banknotes were introduced in Mahatma Gandhi new series was highlighting the cultural heritage and scientific achievements of the country. Distinct colors were used and size was reduced. 2 denomination notes were introduced, which are 2000 rupees notes on November 8, 2016 and rupees 200 on August 23, 2017. Progress of money has a lot of explorations, even explored as digital money and whatnot.